Right, let's go into the staff building. It may be useful.
Locked.
Thought they were supposed to be opened.
Locked.
Locked. Right, so I'm going to have to find another way in, aren't I? We'll ask Mr. Hamish if we can't go in another way. That looks to be it. Thought that was a plaque. It's just a bit of wood. Right, Mr. Hamish. The fact that this is happening means we can speak to him about something. What do you think of Albert Dunne?
What is your opinion of Albert as a student of botany?
He's useless. I often tell him so, and I can only give him cleaning tasks. Botany is not his life's work, and his father well knew it. He was furious about it.
He was.
Oh yes, he forced his son to work here, and he never missed an opportunity to criticize him publicly.
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, for example, with our last exhibition here, Mr. Dunne had Albert make a presentation speech. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunne interrupted him, asking him difficult questions, making him look like a failure. It was with the intention of making a fool of him, Mr. Holmes.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. Everybody was making fun of poor Albert. That is, except for Miss Margaret White, who was such a nice lady and who always takes pity on Albert.
What do you think of Margaret White, then?
You mentioned a Miss White. Would you tell us more about her?
She is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming indeed. She possesses a great talent for botany. You should take a look at some of her experiments that she carried out in the laboratory. Ah, if only she were not so naive.
Why naive?
The way she used to flutter around Mr. Montague Dunne. And why, he couldn't help but be flattered by all her attention. How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through his game? I can only scratch my head and wonder.
Yes, obviously. I mean, it depends whether it's naivete or if it's deliberate. Who has keys? Or whatever I'm actually asking. But keys!
Mr. Hamish, can you tell us who holds the keys to the locked greenhouses?
That would be Albert, Mr. Dunne's son. Yes, Albert keeps all the keys, and one can only imagine why.
What do you mean?
Well, he was never interested in Kew Gardens before. And now all of a sudden he's trying to act as if he owns the place. I think he wants to take over the management here. He'd do better to leave that to me. He has no experience. No, none at all.
Right, okay. Have you heard of the Divine Syndicate?
Are you aware of the Divine Syndicate?
The Divine what? Is this a joke?
No, I am quite serious.
What a ridiculous name. Anyway, I have never heard of this syndicate.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
I'm not sure I believe him on that. Don't have any way of disproving what he's just said, so we won't bother, but... Albert. Questions more, I think. Martin Hamish said that you have all the door keys.
Do you hold the keys to all of these locked doors?
Yes, you can have them. But I cannot give you the keys to the cloakroom. The employee's effects are private. I am sure you understand.
Have you heard of the Divine Syndicate?
Tell me, have you ever heard of the Divine Syndicate?
No, I cannot say that I have.
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon.
Yes, we now have keys. And a fragment from a statue. Which I'm guessing with the fact that it's now become something we can activate, it's probably something in here. Now, which one's the cloakroom? Cannot remember. What does it say on the map? Cloakroom's the middle one, so we'll have to go in and out. Oops. So I have to go in and out to get round. Oop, yeah. Ah, what's that?
Locked.
It's an odd lock. Okay. 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 Right, so you go 1, 2. 1, 2. 3. Oh, is this a really kind of just fiddly... Maybe this... no. Oh, I see. So if I tried to escape earlier... Okay, okay, we'll just go backwards and forwards. I'm sure there's actually a kind of code system for it. It was 3, wasn't it? 2, 3, 4. No. Okay, so it just match. So they match on one side or the other. So 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I think it'd be good to actually have the code. So 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe. Maybe that needs to actually... Ah, I should have gone for... Okay, so that was a 5 then. Okay. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which makes a bit more sense because then it's 5 around this side as well. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Director's safe. What's in here? Letters? My dear friend, please allow me to express my disappointment upon reading your last letter. I am paying you to defend me, not to accuse me. Kew Gardens is a royal institution. We are granted the great opportunity to travel the world and to save the most extraordinarily precious and rare species of plants. Our duty is to protect such species and from those who might wish to use them for dubious purpose. This divine syndicate of whom you speak have no rights to hold such precious plants. Remember the case of the 14th of June, 1889? So, I must respectfully ask you once again to notarize the permissions on these plants on behalf of Kew Gardens. The documents were sent to you on Monday. P.S. See you in Boodles on Tuesday, as always. Letter of complaint. Mr. Dunne, we must ask you for the last time for the return of our dear sisters. You do not have any right to hold them imprisoned. They do not belong to you. Your so-called permissions are wholly false. You are hiding behind lies. That lie, we need not elaborate, that was reported in the press as the case of the 14th of June, 1889. What you have done is quite abhorrent. Be very sure that we shall never abandon our family members. We trusted you and regret having done so. Fine syndicate for some reason. Remember the Kew Garden pressed a complaint against Kew Gardens and mentioned an old case that had been published in the newspapers as the case of the 14th of June, 1889.
I suggest that we don't tell Miss Margaret White about this document.
The debt of Miss Margaret White to Miss Montague Dunne, rental of a suite of rooms at Oxford Street, the educational scholarship at the London University, credits opened at Hamilton, Radican House Tailors, and at Baird Sons Luxury Jewellers. Right. Well, they get together. Well. I'm going to click everything just because I forget that you deselect with space rather than right-clicking. The money that Montague Dunne regularly gave to Miss White far exceeded the needs of a student. Try putting everything together. Oh, okay, we've run out of things. We have a load of clues that we can't do anything with. Right. They must endeavour to find more. Photograph.
A photograph of Montague Dunne and Reynold Hamish.
And we have a Martin Hamish. Okay. So it seems like it's a similar thing to him and his son. Presumably. Another letter. My dearest Margaret, following our last conversation, I believe it would be better if you vacate your position here at Kew Gardens. As you pointed out quite bluntly, you are no longer in need of my support. You are quite able to stand up for yourself in this world, as you say. Well, I give you back your freedom, and wish you nothing but good luck. Montague Dunne. Oh dear. more things to...
Newspapers discussing Kew Gardens.
I'm sure. New plant species! The Kew Gardens team are pleased to announce the successful production of a new variety of barley, one that retains a complete resistance to the cold. They have named it the Siberian barley. Mr. Martin Hamish, the proud cultivator of the graft, will hold a press conference next Monday morning upon this very subject. I've got a sneaking suspicion that, that the director claimed it. Eh? White's expulsion. Come on, give me a double. Miss White and Mr. Dunne had a recent disagreement. Montague Dunne was planning to release Miss White from her position at Kew Gardens, and I may have just kicked the table, and it may have knocked at the mic. I'm sorry. Okay, there's nothing attached there. Okay. Certainly gives her a motive. Especially as she seems to be getting close to Albert. Maybe she's trying to get the money out of him, possibly. Wine.
French wine. A remarkable vintage.
Champagne.
Montague Dunne had good taste.
Where was he getting this money from? Champagne, wine, funding Margaret. Excuse me, Watson. Oh, I see. You're blocking me from going through that door, are you? Boo! We should ask Martin about Reynold. I think there's an obvious thing to say there. Right. Table for experiments.
This is a table for experiments. It resembles my own.
Yeah, a little.
Only this one is kept in good order, Holmes.
Thank you, Watson. Thank you. Another photograph.
Phonograph used
Oh,
for
phonograph.
voice recording. Remarkable.
Yes, this is quite a modern laboratory. I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything. I don't hear anything.
Oh, did someone get it confused? Alright.
A study report by Martin Hamish.
And the other one?
Study report.
So we need to find, so we're going to find another cylinder by the sounds of it. But it does sound like maybe she's with the Divine Syndicate. Might be why she tried to get so close to, what's his face? Dunne.
A sufficient quantity for some serious experiments.
University book. University of Cambridge Botanical Section.
A botany book.
Oh dear.
This student's book belongs to Albert.
Albert Dunne. Repeat here.
It appears as though the protective equipment is missing from here.
Why?
Gloves, waterproof aprons, everything one might need for self-protection.
Do they grow dangerous plants here?
They were growing the
Such
plants for
masks are
the...
generally worn when dealing with toxic chemicals.
They were... For the poisonous plants they were doing in this latest exhibition. Laboratory table, yes. Wet bottle trace.
There was a bottle here. It left behind a trace of the substance that pervaded the laboratory.
Oh.
Several drops of the substance were spilled. Someone carried this bottle around.
We should follow the trace then, and...
Gold dust. Good heavens. What's it doing here?
The gold is almost immune to chemical attacks, so it may be a valuable auxiliary for various experiments.
Why would anyone perform such experiments in a botanical garden?
I don't know.
Several drops of the bottle is no longer here, but it is possible to detect a faint scent. We need a good nose.
Toby! Yay! Fetch Toby. Toby, fetch. We can't go through there.
Locked.
Yeah, we don't have the key.
Holmes, Albert Dunne didn't give us the key to this door.
I'm aware of that.
Does not matter. We will open it.
Okay, oh, it's another puzzle, is it? One of these. Yeah, so it's just about lining this up. It's not particularly necessarily involving. Oh, some of them move. Interesting. How different. Oh, I see. I think I comprehend. So actually, what we need is this one slides as well, doesn't it? There we go. Slightly different to the puzzle having slidey ones. Was he commanding the door or Albert's locker?
Albert's locker.
Yes, he seems to be far more interested in ships than in plants.
Specialist articles on shipyards and ship construction. Albert Dunne has a great passion for shipbuilding and the sea.
Yes, not really with plants. Refusal letter.
A rejection letter from the British Royal Naval College.
Royal Naval School of NCOs, Recruitment Centre, London. Sir, it is my regret to inform you that despite your excellent results within our entry examinations, we are unable to invite you into the Royal Navy School. Your father, Mr. Montague Dunne, has expressed his intention to entrust to you the directorship of the Royal Botanic Gardens in Kew. It is clear that he would not release you for an entire year of naval training. Please accept all our best wishes for your future at Kew Gardens. Yours very faithfully, J.M. Lemarchand, because they'll have anglicised the surname, Director of the Royal Navy Training Centre. Yes. Which is a motive, of course. But he's saying, oh, I'd stay if I could. I think, ooh.
A picture of Miss White and Albert in front of the University of London.
And they seem to get along.